Welcome back, my dear students. So let's go ahead and create some type of data here and, uh, you know, create a database called Mongoose and at the same time insert some data. Just because I want to jump into doing this right away. So let's go ahead and we are already exporting this guy out from here. Make sure that if you're using this curly brackets, this is a structure in here. Make sure that you use it here as well, okay? Like this, okay? Now we don't need to do that. We just have one, okay? We're not exporting any more data out of there. And all right, so this is one way of doing it. Let's go here and start playing around with it. So we got the user right here, and we can start all of a sudden constructing a object to hold that user, okay? We can say, now one thing to keep in mind, I can use the function like this and construct the object, or I can use a little bit of best practices in a way. It's not really best practices, but yeah, a lot of people use it. So let's just use it. And you might see me not doing it once in a while. Just know that when you see the new and without it, it's the same thing. Here we're just signifying that this is a constructor, right? So we have in our data, we have the first name, the last name, and the active, right? So that's the type of data that we need here. We need the same names here, okay? And I'm just gonna make some bogus name because I'm not creating an API yet. I'm just showing you how to use the model. And last name, make sure they are spelled the same. If not, you're gonna have some type of issue. Come back here, and now is active is the last one. And I use camel case, so that's why I don't make mistakes when I'm naming my stuff. So this is a number, so it could be 1 or 0. And the default, we said it was going to be 0. So even if we don't type it here, it should do it for us. But anyway, so now we can go ahead very simply and use the save method, pre-built method that Mongoose offers us. Now this method, we can have a function back to us, saying, hey, listen, we were able to save the data saved or something like that. And we can come back and say, oops, we have the function, okay, if error, return error or something like that, so that way application doesn't run anymore. If the data was saved, we want the data saved, right? Now let's turn our app on, no mon app, enter, and now you can see that it says connected and we got the data back here, okay? So now if we go to our, what is this, the compass, we can check on the compass, turn our GUI on so that way we can see it. I'm gonna go and connect to it. And you can see that we have a collection or document here with our data. Our data was successfully inserted. Okay. Now keep in mind that we don't have to use the GUI all the time. I just showed you how to use the GUI. Maybe in later lectures we're just gonna use the Mongo shell, and you're gonna see me using the Mongo shell. As a matter of fact, I'll probably create a lecture about the Mongo shell in the next lectures. Thank you so much, guys. And as you can see, we were able to use the model that we created here. We have a definition. Just a quick note here. Remember that we are using these validators. For example, if the first name was not included and we put an empty space here and we try to execute this, you see that it says connected. Okay. Now this is giving me a warning, and let me tell you why it's giving me a warning. This warning has to do with Mongo promises. If I'm using a promise, which I'm not here, it's telling me to plug in our own promises because Mongo is not supporting that promise they don't have a promise library. Before, back in the day, they did. They don't anymore. So we have to plug in our own promises library, and we will do that in the next lecture. But as you can see, let's go ahead and change the data to Diaz. Okay. Now when we come here and we refresh, there is no data. Okay, our data is not being inputted there. It's nothing there. So let's return here some type of console.log error, and let's see if we can see that error message. Come back here, and now you can see that error. You see that? What it's saying here is first name, the validator error, path name, first name is required. Okay, and I hope you see how this works. Okay, it's saying that it's supposed to be a minimum length, and that is the first name. So if I say something like Ed and I come back here, we're gonna get another error here, and it says first name E is shorter than the minimum allowed length. Okay, pretty cool stuff. So as you can see, this was good. Now is active. If I don't include is active and I try to do this, it's gonna get another error. But if I do, let's say Jose, and I do this, it says, okay, listen, I was able to insert it, everything went good, and is active by default. Okay, is going to be 0. Hope you've seen that. See how easy that was? Anyway, if you have any doubts, let me know and I will clear them out for you in the discussions. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you're learning a lot. I hope you're really excited. I see you in the next lecture.